If you would like to go over
I'd like to call this meeting of the Princeton City Council to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Mabry.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Gomez.
Here.
McCall.
Here.
And Prince.
Here.
Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we begin public comment tonight, we're going to go ahead and have a presentation. Lex Poppins, the Executive Director of the Bureau County History Center, as well as Jim Dunn. Please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, Teresa, Pete, Chief, Cameron, and other members of the city government here tonight. I'm here to again report to you the state of the museums. It continues to be great. You might recall at the last city council meeting, we announced that we will be moving forward with the cosmetic restoration of the west stairwell and the auditorium of the former Madison Library building. This phase will restore the full facility to operations. As you might recall, it was damaged in January of 2014. One reason I'm here tonight is that the final stage of the project will be done by the end of the middle of next month, and it has been fully funded. Thanks to community leaders and donors here in Princeton, we were able to raise that last bid for the capital project. There will be a community open house on May 24th from noon until 5 p.m. But that isn't the primary reason that I'm here tonight. Our story begins in the spring of 1927 when a young doctor who had returned from China as a medical missionary. In the afternoon of May 14th, he met with two Princeton doctors from Perry Memorial Hospital, one of whom was a classmate of his in medical school, my grandfather, Peter H. Poppins. The other doctor was Dr. Schrader. The conversation was about taking over Dr. Schrader's practice. And here began the story of Dr. K.M. Nelson in Princeton and Bureau County. Dr. Nelson had a young son, Dexter. Dr. Poppins also had a son, my father, Arthur. Both Dexter and Arthur would return to Princeton and work together as physicians at Perry Memorial Hospital. The storyline of members of these families working together continued in 2022 when I joined the Bureau County History Center. Multiple times over the past 3 years, Pete Nelson and I, Lex Poppins, have worked together on all things historical and museum. My last meeting with Pete in this role with the city was just last week. His patience and knowledge have really facilitated the success of the cosmetic restoration of the Sash-Stelter Madison building. For these reasons, I am personally and professionally thankful for your work and your support on our behalf. 3 generations have worked together to make Princeton and Bureau County a better place to live. In 2023, the History Center began recognizing individuals who have helped our organization with our renovation programs and operations. We call them History Heroes. So, Pete, on behalf of the boards of the Bureau County Historical Society and the Bureau County History Center, we award Pete Nelson the first History Hero Award for 2025. Come on, Pete, you know how this goes.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Undeserved.
Undeserved.
Thank you.
Thank you again for the opportunity to report to you tonight and all that you do for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Lex. Thank you, Jim. And our press is here. Come up to the front. We're glad to have you. Right, put down the spot. You're good. We're glad to have you. With that said, now we're going to go to the public comment period. Public comment is at the beginning of the meeting as well as at the end. We'd like to have you limit your remarks to 3 minutes, please. If you'd like to speak now, all you have to do is come up to the microphone and just give your name. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to the council this evening? Aye, please come up.
Well, my name is Abijah Sherwood. For you folks that don't know me, in polite company, they call me Bige. So that's my nickname. I'm not a native son here, following the footsteps of some of the other people just now present. But I've been a Bureau County property and business owner in Princeton for 41 years. I've lived in Princeton or Bureau County 40 years. I'm also here about a project that I started a number of years ago, which was the development of the American Hotel out at 26 and 80. And I had a couple of things in mind to do on that. First of all, the cost was $5.5 million, which was a little out of my budget for normal things that I did, but I tried anyway to get it all accomplished. And with the help of some of the former city managers here in town. My reason was twofold to do that. One was I wanted to make money. And most of us have that, sort of deal in your mind. You'd like to make money. So the second reason was that I wanted to be able to provide a better place. My daughter asked me, says, "Are you going to get emotional?" And I said, "No, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm just going to be just the opposite." Well, it's not working, I guess. Anyway, I had an agreement, or have an agreement with the city to develop this property. In that contract, it states that the city is going to provide some things for me as a draw, beside it being a TIF district, which is supposed to help you as a business owner with a lot of things. One of the things that the city did was building permits, recessed that, that's not the right word, but waived that, and they also agreed that they would put in the sewer line and the water line and the power line, which they did. They brought them right up to the hotel for us. So that's some of the things. One of the other things that really I'm here for tonight is that contract includes the paying for the professionals' survey work and engineering work on that building and ground, and might even include the immediate adjacent bunch, which was Wise Guys at the time. I'm not all easy to get along with, but the engineer, I said, we can't drain part of their property. Your line for surface water is about 10 feet away. How about letting us just hook onto it? So I'm such a nice guy, I said yes. At any rate, I was really overwhelmed with that project. I worked with the city engineer, and we got most of the stuff straightened out that I wanted and he wanted, and I guess they wanted. And after he brought me the drawings that day, a week or two later, why he also presented me with the bills for that work, which I was kind of overwhelmed with, and I didn't have pocket change right then, so I told him, well, I'll see if my banker is going to give me additional money, which he did. So I put it on the mortgage. So what I'm here for tonight is to present the city clerk with the payment, or my payment of those bills, and at the end of my comments, which won't be much more. I just want to say one other thing, that I have not been a volunteer with the city, so many of the projects in the city. I've been kind of involved with my work and after my second purchase here in town, which was the old Pioneer plant, it developed into 7 days a week. All year long, I managed to take a week off for vacation every year, regardless. But we spent the time working with that and brought people into Princeton, a lot of people into Princeton. And like with the hotel, obviously, most of the people are going to be from out of town. They're coming to Princeton. So they buy stuff from the antique mall, and we benefit from sales tax as a city. And with the hotel, we have hotel tax to pay. We pay that to the city and the state. And then both of those businesses, in addition to buying stuff from me and other antique shops in town or other hotels in town, they also stop by and buy fuel and buy food and buy other miscellaneous stuff from all the other businesses in town for whatever reason that would be. So in my little brain, I think I've done my part as a non-native son. And so I'm going to present this to the city clerk, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
Absolutely, guys. Bash, I know we were talking together on the phone about a week ago, and I know, Bash, you just celebrated your 90th birthday.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. That's great. We appreciate the American and what it's done for our front door, and continues to do for the front door of Princeton. And I mean that in all sincerity, Bash.
Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment, or else you get a chance to talk at the end of the meeting as well? That being said, we'll go ahead and for approval, please, of the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on February 3rd, 2025.
Second.
A motion and a second on those minutes. Is there any corrections or comments from the council concerning those minutes? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. And I'll go to the invoices with City Clerk Janet.
In the Department of Accounts and Finances, we have $121,816.01. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvement, $186,524.13. The Department of Public Safety, $212,771.84. And in the Department of Public Property and Utilities, $962,931.30, for a grand total of $1,484,043.28. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of all invoices, and they're now submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the council concerning those invoices? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. Now we're on to our ordinances, please.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-25-005, an ordinance amending the City of Princeton, Bureau County, Illinois budget for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2024, and ending April 30th, 2025. This is the second and final reading.
I move that we approve ordinance O-25-005.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and again, that is the second reading that we're having tonight. Any questions from the council? Seeing none, clerk call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you.
Next, we have ordinance O-25-006, modifying Princeton Historic Preservation Commission membership structure. This is also the second and final reading.
I move that we approve ordinance O-25-006.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and to the council as well. That's our second reading, and if you remember, that was to allow people that are outside the city limits to serve on that commission. So if you would, please.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you.
Next, we have Resolution R-25-007. This is a resolution establishing depositories and authorities for the city funds.
I move that we approve Resolution R-25-007.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Teresa, if you would, just give us a little more elaboration on that, please.
Basically, what the resolution, actually what it states is in the second paragraph, there's that all checks, drafts, notes, or orders drawn against any account at such depository shall be signed by two of the acting mayor, acting city manager, and acting treasurer. So whose signatures shall be duly certified in said depositories, and that no checks, drafts, notes, or other orders drawn against said depository shall be valid unless so signed. So basically establishing the signatory authority for those accounts. Previously, it did not include the city manager, but we're kind of in a situation that makes it kind of hard to have two signatures all the time with the staff and representation that we have. So this might be one way to resolve it.
A little housekeeping.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, questions for the council? Otherwise, clerk call roll.
Councilmember Newman. Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. Now we'll go to the board reappointments, please.
I move that we approve the following board reappointments. For the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, remove Rodney Johnson from the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. Appoint Dan Jaeger to fill an unexpired 3-year term ending July 31st, 2027. Also, Fire Pension Fund. Appoint Rodney Johnson to fill an unexpired 2-year term ending April 30th, 2026. For the Bike and Pedestrian Commission, appoint Tess Heidenreich to fill an unexpired 3-year term ending June 30th, 2025. And finally, Planning and Zoning Commission, reappoint Ian Cardosi and Michael Wendt to fill unexpired term ending June 30th, 2027.
Very good. Is there a second on that? Very good. Any questions or comments from the council concerning those appointments? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. Now we're going to go to the city manager report with Teresa Whitnauer, please.
Just a couple of housekeeping items. First of all, this is an update on Marion Street. As everybody knows, we're getting ready to start the storm sewer project on that street. We did get word this morning that SKI, who is doing the project, is looking to start next Monday, which is a little sooner than we thought. But with the weather starting to turn next week, they feel they might be able to get a start on this. So materials will be delivered on Monday, and work will start thereafter, starting at 5th Street and moving west. So the main line sewer should take about a week and a half, followed by laterals and intersections. It should only affect the school parking for about 2 to 3 days from 8th Street intersection to Fulmer Street. And I have notified the schools so that they are aware of what's coming. So if anything changes, obviously I'll let them know, but that project will not take very long. So. Secondly, I'd let council know that we had our S&P rating evaluation done a couple weeks ago. I did have a phone call last week with S&P Global Ratings notifying me that our credit rating has been increased from a negative to an A, with while affirming a stable outlook. So that's a huge positive for Princeton to have that rating go up a whole rating. I said it was based on our stable reserves that we have right now, our stable revenue that is coming in, not taking on new debt, and this is all, I feel like I'm repeating myself constantly, but and then our major purchases or major expenditures are on one-time capital expenditures. So if we keep things going in that direction, we can see more positive outlooks too. So they were very pleased. So I just wanted to pass that along.
Very good. Okay. And are you ready for anything else here?
Well, sure. You go into your.
I'll do the possibly Princeton once you're done, please.
Okay. Do I have one on there? I guess
No, come on. I think it's great.
No. Janet, this one was hard to put together. As most everyone knows, tonight is Pete's last official city council meeting. Pete will officially be retiring next week, a day which we here at City Hall never can really fully prepare for. After his 25 years at Harper Wyman and serving on the City of Princeton Planning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals, Pete began his journey formally with the city for more than 20 years. He started at the City of Princeton in 2005 as Planning and Zoning Administrator. Later, he was appointed to also serve as a city clerk and then also to handle the HR role. However, anyone who knows Pete knows his work at the city goes beyond that. If he isn't at City Hall, you can find him at the Crowdy Building, or you can find him at the train depot, and everywhere else. As a lifelong resident of Princeton, Pete was involved in a number of other community services, which included Junior Achievement, Boy Scouts, United Way, American Heart Association, Princeton Public Schools Foundation, Sally Skinner Council Auditorium Renovation Campaign, Perry Memorial Hospital Expansion Renovation Committee, and future sale, as we went through that as well, the CB Fields Trust, and the Greenfield Retirement Home Board. Pete has also been a recipient of awards over the years, as you just received one tonight, and won in 2007 for the Non-Rotarian Vocation Leadership Award. In his multiple roles here at the city, Pete became known to me as the one-stop shop. Throughout the day, it is a rare occasion to see Pete alone in his office or not on the phone. You sometimes felt like you might need to take a number and just wait patiently for your turn. When I took on the role as city manager a little over 5 years ago, I quickly realized Pete would be my go-to for anything Princeton, whether it was something related to city business, city history, or just an issue and event that the city may have been involved in over the years. I also quickly realized Pete knew everyone, not just in Princeton, but the entire surrounding area. He became my sounding board for simple city questions, and some complex, and even some of my new ideas or random questions or boiling concerns that may come up. One thing that has stood out to me over my short time here is Pete could talk you through anything, no matter how hard the topic was, and he certainly wasn't going to allow me or anyone else here fail. And if you started to, he'd quickly pull you back and get you back on track. Since I started here, I've had a number of retirements, including a number of department heads already. And department heads, if you're in here, no more. I'm done. I'm done. And I'm ready for a break from that. But Pete's retirement succession planning here at City Hall has been very unique. We've had to reevaluate the 3 roles he filled, and then some of the others, and try to cover any voids that may arise in his absence. That meant we had to find the perfect people to fill these roles. First, we were blessed to have Janet Henning step up and take the role of city clerk. This is such a vital role to the operations of the city. It had to be filled with the absolute best candidate we could find. Everything funnels through this position. And boy, did we find the right person for the job. I'm ecstatic that she has taken on the role and then some, and just ran with it without hesitation, with flying colors. Pete, thank you for entrusting those duties to Janet, and again, ensuring that she continues to succeed as city clerk. The second piece of this was also not easy, but I want to point out how excited we are to have Michael Deering filling the role of Planning and Zoning Director. And boy, did we get lucky again. We could not have found a more perfect candidate to take on this role and grow it beyond anything we could have ever envisioned. And Pete, again, thank you for dedicating your time over the past months mentoring Michael and providing the knowledge and direction and development history of Princeton better than anybody could have ever done. I want to say a huge thank you to both Janet and Michael for everything you've done stepping up into your new roles and your willingness to take on challenges every day to make sure we don't skip a beat. On behalf of the City of Princeton, I thank both of you. Here at City Hall, we knew this day was coming when Pete gave us a heads up about 3 years ago. I think you just never think it's going to really come. And we started to prepare Janet to fill the role as deputy clerk. Then Pete really narrowed it down the timeline to about a year. And then we started to panic a little. And we kind of went, oh boy, this is really going to happen. We transitioned Janet quickly to clerk, and somehow we knew we had roughly over a year to prepare, but it's still amazing how quickly time has flown by. And here we are, a week and a half out. Pete, we can make every attempt to prepare ourselves for this for nearly 3 years, but I don't think anybody is really, truly ready for it. Pete, we sincerely thank you for helping us with this transition. I'm sure it hasn't been easy at times, but with your retirement approaching, please know that you have left the city in good hands. You can guarantee we will still be calling you, though. She might have to put your phone on silent. With all that, we're going to deeply miss you here at City Hall. From the mouths of the City Hall staff themselves, here are some specific things we're really going to miss about you, the things we see with you every single day. Your wit and sense of humor, your wisdom and guidance, your spot-on imitations of others. We put you on the spot. Your cookie and Whopper grazing, your unlimited historical knowledge of every address and property in town, your one-liners, your level-headedness and calm demeanor, and most of all, we are all going to miss looking at you as our father figure. The sense of security that you give to us and provide for us over the years will be irreplaceable. Pete, we thank you for your dedication to the city and the residents of Princeton for 20-plus years, and thank you for becoming a mentor and friend to all of us. And Mary Ellen and family, thank you for sharing Pete with us over all these years. Congratulations on your outstanding career, and we wish you only the best in your retirement. Oh, and we do have a presentation. Something a little different. Judy got the for you of City Hall. We thought that would be very fitting.
Oh my God. Beautiful. Check this out. Original watercolor.
Check out the back.
Oh, check out the back. Oh my gosh. Farewell from everybody. Oh, congratulations.
Pete, do you want to introduce your family at all? Can you? I'll put you on the spot.
My wife, Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen has sacrificed quite a bit with me over the years working for the city. I've often spent my weekends at the depot or sometimes at the Powder Gully. And she's been patiently, I'm still living with her. That's a good thing.
And holidays.
And holidays, right. And my daughter Melinda back there, daughter Amy back there, her husband Randy, former firefighter Kelly Lucas, his wife, my daughter Angie, my great-grandson Jax, and my grandson Justin, Kelly and Angie's son, my great-granddaughter Ellie Lucas, and Whitney Lucas. My sister Sarah, brother Aaron, sister-in-law Carol, brother Joel, brother-in-law Rick. I guess that's it. So that's it for him, I guess.
But there is one person missing.
Pardon me?
But there is a person missing. Mary Nelson? Mary H. Nelson.
Yeah, Mary, my sister Mary. She's the youngest daughter of my family, or the youngest sister, who lives in Milwaukee and was unable to.
She did reach out to me today, Pete.
Excuse me?
She reached out to me today.
Oh, she did?
And I have a message for you.
And what's that?
She said, in true Nelson style, I am tardy in sending this. I wish I could be there to celebrate Pete and the blood, sweat, and tears he has put in over the past 20 years on behalf of the city of Princeton. I can say without a doubt, there is no one who cares as deeply about the history of Princeton, the future of Princeton, and the integrity of Princeton as my brother Peter Nelson. Congratulations on your retirement. You have earned every moment of peace coming your way. With much love and respect, Mary.
Well, that's awful nice. Does Pete also need to say a few words then, or is there going to be...
Go for it. Pete.
Yeah.
Yep, you're on it.
Okay, well.
It all started back in 1994. I attended my last managers meeting. We have a managers meeting every month. I attended my last managers meeting last week, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. And I remember my first day here in 2005 thinking that I really wasn't worthy among the staff that we had, because everybody was an expert. Everybody knew about infrastructure. Everybody knew about street dynamics, and they knew everything they needed to know to keep the city running, and I didn't know anything. Of course, I knew I'd learn eventually, but I remember coming away very impressed with our first managers meeting in 2005, that the city was in wonderful hands with the staff that we had back then. And I have to say that since then, with changing times, changing technologies, changing needs of the city, the staff we have in place now is still very customer oriented. They know exactly where their bread is buttered. I think a lot of our employees would walk through fire for the citizens of this town. So, this town doesn't realize the asset they have in the employees that we have here. And they're going to continue to serve the citizens in the noble manner they always have for the last 20 years or more. I just want to mention a couple things that, I started the Plan Commission, I think around 1994, replacing somebody there. And I started attending city council meetings thereafter. I was very grateful that the city was, in 2005 and 2008, they actually sent me to China as on 2 trade missions that were extremely insightful as far as international relations go. At the time, the city was trying to attract some .com enterprises and entrepreneurs from different lands, and China was a hotbed back then. How things changed in 20 years. But it was extremely insightful for me. We did have a couple visits out of those trips. However, they were from the U.S. delegation that I went with. They weren't from any of the Chinese companies. But it was still worthwhile. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out into jobs directly. But it was, I thought, insightful for the city to be thinking that we have a place in the world rather than a place in just Bureau County. And we do. And we still do. I guess kind of tongue-in-cheek, I thought I'd rattle off some stats that I've kind of figured out here that since I started in 2005 as the zoning administrator, I estimate that I've written about 1,520 permits worth about $80 million in investment in this town. In 2011, I believe is when I started as city clerk also. And I signed checks since 2011 that were worth about $260 million. It sounds amazing, but it really means nothing as far as my abilities go. I think I've attended 787 council meetings, but that pales in comparison to this guy right here, Jerry Newman, who has attended more than that. And not only that, he's attended all the commission meetings, or meetings of the library board, the Lovejoy board, the Prairie Memorial Hospital board. There's no end to it. So I'm glad to be number 2. Served under 3 mayors, each who had their own deep convictions for the betterment of the city, Mayor Mabry among them. Served under all 5 city managers who have collectively moved the city to be in an enviable standing right now in this area. It's been an honor to work with 85 staff members who are totally mindful of who their customers are. My advice to the city: stay on track, whittle down the debt, and honor your employees. We're already on the track of doing that. That's why the city is in as good a shape as it is right now. Probably the best shape it's been in decades. I want to just echo how pleased I am that Janet has taken over as city clerk. Totally able, and I hope she enjoys it eventually. It will be fun. And Michael, totally happy that you're coming up after me, coming up behind me on the planning and zoning administration. And I've tried to keep my bad habits away from you. You've been a good student of not doing any of my bad habits, so the future looks bright for the city of Princeton with Michael in charge of the planning and zoning. I thank all the councils, past and present, for looking beyond my shortcomings. It's been an honor. And there's one more person that I want to thank, who nobody really thinks of, I don't think, too often, but they don't realize that in the role of planning and zoning administrator, how much you depend on your attorneys. And this gentleman right here, longer term tenure than I have had, probably anybody in that role. But John has been a totally key element of my success or Michael's success or any of ours in the past. And John, I can't thank you enough for the guidance you've given us over the years. You just kind of sit there and just do your job. And how many cities get to have an attorney from your own hometown? And he understands when I talk about property that was owned by somebody 50 years ago, and he knows where it is. That's been very, very, very helpful. So he's got as much history down as I do, and that's tremendous. And he's saved us out of, kept us out of trouble several times by just saying, this really isn't any of the city's business. So I've tried to learn from John. I almost did, and but it's a tremendous comfort to know that you were there for us, and you've always stepped up and kept us on the right path. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much.
I think that's it.
Very good.
Thanks, everybody.
So this evening, I extend greetings from 2 previous mayors. Mayor Joel Quirren wasn't able to be here tonight. He's going to be at another event next week with you here at City Hall to say congratulations. And Mayor Keith Kane. Keith had his hip replaced yesterday, so he's got a good excuse for not being here today. Yeah, outpatient, right? He's got the extended warranty. He let that hip go as long as he possibly could, but anyway, he had his surgery yesterday. A couple things. First, I would just echo, Teresa did a great job summarizing Pete Nelson and his career and dedication to Princeton. So when I think about Pete, I think of a man of integrity. I think of a man that his word is his bond, and you don't have to have anything signed by Pete Nelson. He says he's going to do something, he does it. And I certainly appreciate and honor him for that. I think about his wife, Mary Ellen. She's out every morning with her daughter walking and exercising, and I get a chance to stop and talk to them and kind of get a read on how I'm doing as mayor, and she'll tell me what she thinks, and then Pete tells me later in the day what he thinks. What you find is when you're the mayor, it's a learning curve. So I was on the council for 8 years, and I've been mayor for just under 2 years. But I rely on Pete to be honest with me, and that's what he does. He's very honest. He'll pull me off the side, and one of Pete's little sayings is, he hasn't used this on me yet, but I've heard him use it on other people. is that ain't no way to run a railroad, is what he likes to use. And I appreciate that, and he hasn't subjected me to that comment, but I appreciate the fact that Pete and I have a good working relationship, and if I need advice from Pete, I'll ask for it, and if I don't need advice, he's still going to tell me, and I appreciate that, the honesty of that, Pete. I mean that in all sincerity, and that's what it's all about. So we think about Pete tonight, and as we honor him, we think of a man of integrity, a man that does indeed love his community, and loves his family. That's everyone here tonight. So we think about that. And as we go into this, my little segment of Positively Princeton, and as we discuss things that are positive at Princeton, there can be nothing more positive than Pete Nelson and his legacy. And so we did something just a little different this evening. So under Positively Princeton, we had a larger sign made up, and this evening, in just a few minutes when we adjourn the meeting, we have some refreshments next door. So we're going to ask you to stick around. Teresa and Janet and the staff at City Hall put together a nice spread of refreshments. We're going to honor Pete. But more importantly, as far as this sign goes, tonight's your opportunity. We've got some magic markers. You can go ahead and sign your name and maybe make a few quick comments on here about Pete and the significance he's had at City Hall and for the community of Princeton. We can use the back side as well as the front side. So tonight, we honor Pete Nelson as definitely what we call the epitome of Positively Princeton. So Pete, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, and we'll look at is there any old business before the council this evening? Is there any new business before the council this evening? Okay,
Ray, if I may, I don't know if anybody else has any comments, but so kind of all about Pete night. I'm sure it's bittersweet with you. I just wanted to make some comments toward him too. I've been doing this for a little less than 4 years now. Anybody that's on the council knows you kind of get thrown in the wolves den when you walk in the door, right? We don't really know what's going on. We're trying to listen to everybody and figure everything out. Pete was such a huge, just had so much guidance, I think, and patience. And I'm not a patient person. I think you figured me out, right? Especially early on. Trying to understand things, get through things. I think we're going to lose, as a city, a lot of knowledge, losing Pete Nelson. And when you sit down and talk to Pete, you can just jump in. You know, we talked about how many times you're in meetings, phone calls, whatnot. Any one of us could walk into Pete's office at any time, no matter what he's doing, popped in. Sometimes I spend an hour with you, sometimes it's 5 minutes, right? Getting answers. I just want to let you know that I think what the city's losing is a lot. It's great for you for retirement. Obviously, we're happy for you, but we're going to lose a lot of knowledge and that history and everything, and I just want to let you know. I'm sure the other council members feel the same way here. A lot of these guys have been here longer than I have, but these 4 years I've been very happy to call you, a friend here at City Hall and everything else. So
thanks,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good. Good. And then again, we're going to ask everybody to stick around. We're going to have refreshments next door and an opportunity to get extended Pete and his family congratulations for Pete. Okay, with that said, any additional public comment from anyone? Please.
I move that we adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like office here. We have a couple bidders. Go ahead. Eric would like to.
I'm very hungry.
I know. We're good on that. Anyone else like to make a public comment? Please come to the microphone. Please. Glad to have you. Just jump right up there and state your name for the record. Glad to have you.
I'm Randy Johnson. I'm the chairman of Flags of Freedom here in Princeton, Illinois. Good evening to the City Council members and Mayor Mabry. This year is an exciting year for the Flags of Freedom. We will be celebrating 20 years of giant flags flying at the front door to the city of Princeton, Bureau County, off of Interstate 80. With a majestic display of patriotism as the four flags welcome visitors, passengers along Interstate 80, remembering our veterans, past, present, and future, local citizens have worked 20 years at keeping the flags of freedom flying. An event at the Cider Mill, April 5th, will be held with a live auction, silent auction, and a Las Vegas-style games for fun and entertainment that we have. We hope all of you will join us for the celebration of the flags unique to Princeton. The original display of flags that inspired Jack Scott in Unadilla, Georgia, are no longer flying, and we are the only ones in the continental United States that has this, which is very special to Princeton, Illinois. This makes, like I said, this makes our flags even more special as we have been able to maintain our poles, pole systems, and flags. This is a great group of volunteers that work together to achieve the ongoing maintenance. Please join us on April 5th for the celebration and help us by inviting your family and friends to join in on the fun. And our motto is, let's keep the flags flying. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney. Thank you. Michael, Dusty, come on up, please. Glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, Michael Stutsky. So many nice things have been said this evening about Pete Nelson. About 40 years ago, I started to visit Princeton with my wife, who is a Princetonian. I just fell in love with Main Street, and right before we retired, I was coming out of what was once the Flower House, and I passed the building right next door to the Knox Hotel. And that was a project that our family took on. And I knew that from the moment that we decided to do the project, purchase the building, that we had to make our way down to City Hall. And the individual that I met first when I came here was Pete Nelson. And of all the things that have been said this evening, which are so true, there's one other word that I would like to add to that. The many conversations and all the help that Pete has given our family over the last 5 years, the word gentleman comes to mind. And you are a gentleman, and it has been a privilege to work with you.
Very good. And let's see if we can grab one more person. Anybody else would like to make a quick comment? Any family members? You want to roast your relative? We're good. Hang on a second, Jerry. Hang on one more time to make sure. Ed, it's like we're business here. Anybody? Last call. Ready? Okay. Here we go. Jerry.
Okay, here we go. I move that we adjourn our regular council meeting this evening and reconvene for our next council meeting on Monday, March 3rd, 2025, 6 o'clock at City Hall.
Second.
Motion and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
And Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. This meeting's adjourned. We're going to go right next door, so don't leave. We're going to go right next door to the breakfast.